Hey guys, Savannah Bell here with My Massage World, where we give you no-nonsense tips for you and your business. So we asked on Facebook what you wanted to know more about and told you we'd make a video for you. So here we are. And you told us you wanted to know more about starting a business. So that's what we're going to talk about today. There are two key components that I think are absolutely vital when it comes to starting a business, and those are a solid business plan and branding. Those to me are absolutely essential to a successful business. Now, this may be obvious to some of you who were given a plethora of knowledge from your massage instructors, but let's face it, not many of us were bestowed with a lot of business knowledge when we were in massage school. So instead, we take CE classes and we watch videos like this. So hopefully I can give you a little insight here. Now, I think anybody, whether you're fresh out of school or you've been practicing for years, whether you're thinking about opening a business, whether you're getting ready to open a business, or you've been in business for years, I think everybody can learn a little something here, because even if you've been in business for years and years, sometimes maybe something isn't going quite your way and it's time to take a step back and reevaluate some things. So I think anybody can learn a little bit of stuff from this video, and I hope you'll stick with me and watch. It's going to be a little bit of a long one, but I'll try to keep things succinct and to the point. So there's a lot that goes into any successful business. Before I want to get into the business planning and the branding and stuff, I just want to let you know there are no overnight successes. Excuse me, there are very rarely any overnight successes, and in the massage industry it just doesn't really happen. In some businesses it can, but for the most part in business in general it doesn't. There are very few stories where somebody has actually been an overnight success. Most of the time those overnight successes are actually people who've been working on this stuff for years and years and years. They have lots of experience and lots of hours put into their business, their profession, whatever it is that they're trying to succeed at. So there are very few overnight successes. Instead, it takes years and years and years of very hard work to get to any point of success. So just remember that this isn't going to be an overnight thing. This isn't going to be a quick fix. We tend to want to take a pill for everything and fix everything immediately. And we as massage therapists know that's not the case. So the same applies to your business. For instance, and I know this isn't massage related, but if you look at the actor Jeremy Renner, he actually was called by a few people an overnight success 20 years in the making, because he was a struggling actor for close to 20 years. And he had taken roles that he thought were just going to be fantastic for him, and some of them were okay, some of them were really bad. But then he got a role in Hurt Locker, and he got a couple awards from that, and then he got cast in Avengers, and of course he's skyrocketed to fame, and most people know who he is now. So if you look at that, again, people thought he was an overnight sensation. He came on the scene out of nowhere and he's all of a sudden in these big blockbuster movies, and it's like, no, he spent years as a struggling actor. Years and years and years. And acting is a little bit different, of course, because you do have to struggle to break it in. But when it comes to the massage industry, it still takes years and years to build a business, okay? To build a really profitable, successful, elaborate kind of business. Even if it's just you, there is still a lot that goes into it. So just be prepared. If anybody tries to tell you, oh, it's not going fast enough, it's not, it's not where I want it right now, whatever, slow down. It's okay. It's okay to take your time. It's okay. Businesses take time to build. Okay, some people it happens in 6 months. They get lucky, lots of great marketing and a good business plan, and things go fantastic. Others, it takes a long, long time. It depends on your circumstances. It depends on your area. It depends on so many different factors. So just keep that in mind. So now I'll get into the actual point of this video. So first I want to look at a business plan. And this is something that we can spend hours and hours and hours talking about. And in all honesty, we do have a CE class coming up on business planning. If you're interested, I'll be scheduling that a little bit later this year. So I don't have it on the books right now, but we'll get it on there. Hopefully we'll be announcing the dates within the next month or two. So we could spend hours and hours talking about a business plan, but I want to keep this video somewhat short and let you in on just the basics of it. So there's an old saying, no one plans to fail, but many fail to plan. And that really it's true about any number of things in life, but especially about business. It is very important to take your time. Have a couple years if you can to plan your business out before you ever actually open your doors. The key thing here is that if you can plan things out, if you can take the time and have every detail in place, have all of this set up and ready to go before you ever even open your doors for your business, then that's going to give you a setup for life. If you just do something quickly and you throw some stuff together, it can be very detrimental. Okay, it can be absolutely disastrous. Businesses fail every single day because of that. So, only about 75% of small businesses actually survive the first year, and only about 50% survive the first 5 years, which is kind of a scary statistic. And I'm not saying that to scare you. You will have plenty of naysayers in your life when you even mention opening your own business. However, I do want you to understand the reality of it. It is a lot of work, a lot of commitment, and a lot of sacrifice. So please, please keep that in mind. It is not for the tenderhearted. There are a lot of obstacles, a lot of doors in your faces, a lot of people out there who are going to tell you you're not good enough or you can't do it. Tell them to shut up and keep going, okay? So when you see those scary numbers of only half of businesses surviving the first 5 years, you have to remember some of these people just threw stuff together. Okay, they didn't do it right. There was no planning involved. It was like, hey, I'm going to buy a sign and rent a building. We got this. We're good. So a lot of those people fail. The vast majority of those people fail. In fact, very few probably ever make it to any sort of success. So that's what having a business plan does. It lays things out for you so that you have a set plan of action in your business. Both, how do I get to the point where I can actually open my doors? And then once I open my doors, what's the plan from then on? So it lays out every step of that whole process, along with a few contingency plans, because there are going to be some detours along the way. But your business plan is your roadmap. It's how you're going to run your entire business from start to finish. So before you ever think about before you ever think about doing an official business plan, you need to do a business plan that is just for you. Now, the official business plan is the kind that you take to the bank to get a loan, or that you show investors if you're looking for that. But you need to have even just a basic business plan. Even if you're not doing a loan, if you're not going to have investors or anything like that, you still need a business plan in place for you. Okay, so to me, that's the key. So before you even think about an official business plan, if you need to go that route, you have to do a business plan just for you. So what I want you to do is get a binder, a big one, like a 3-ring binder. Then, I want you to fill it with stuff, okay? So first, you're going to think about your basic setup for your business. How do you want it set up? Do you want to be working independently, so it's just you? Do you want employees? Do you want to rent rooms out to people? How do you want that set up? Do you want a clinic or a spa setting? Or somewhere, kind of in between, or something totally different? You want oncology, or is it something for CrossFit athletes, or is it just solely sports massage, whatever, okay? What kind of business setup do you want, and what kind of theme are you going for with it? What type of massage do you love to do? That's the type of business that you need. So now I want you to write down every crazy little detail that you can think of. I want you to put down, don't think about the how, don't think about I can't afford it, don't think about any of that stuff. Just put down what you dream of. What is the craziest little thing that you want in a business? Whether that's a sauna that you thought you'd never have. I don't care if you think you never have it, write it down. Whether it's a sauna, an electric, a hydraulic table, some of the finest oils in the land, I don't care, put it down. Okay? I want you to write out every little thing. You see a picture of some decoration that you like. Be careful of Pinterest, you'll spend hours on there. But if you write down, or you cut out pictures and you print out stuff and you put it all in this binder, it's going to give you a sense of where you are, okay, and where you want to be in terms of the theme for your entire establishment, and how what kind of services you want to offer, things like that. So cut everything out, put it in there, keep it in that binder. Now I want you to think about your perfect client. You may already have a couple of these, you may not, depends on your situation at the time. But I want you to think about the person that you want on your table all day, every day. Okay, the person that makes you happy to come into work, that reminds you why you got into this profession and how you want to help people. Whatever it is, whether it's the person that wants to just come in and chill out and relax for a little bit, or it's the person with some orthopedic condition that you can help and you can get them back to their normal life. Whatever the case is, think of that person and write that down. And don't be generic here. I want you to think about all the details. What's their age? What's their occupation? Do they have any hobbies, activities that they're interested in, exercise routines, any specific medical conditions? What's their maybe general household income level? That way you can kind of see how much money they have to spend on this sort of stuff. Think about all those little details and put that down as well. Now, I want you to label that entire section your dream section. Okay? That's your dream business and your dream client. Next, I want you to make a different section that is called your reality section. Because, let's face it, we all have to face reality, unfortunately. So, this is the part where we figure out what's actually available in your area. So I want you to look at the demographics of your particular town, city, wherever you live. Look at the demographics. And what I mean by that is, what's the average annual income for your area? What's the gender, age range? What parts of town are higher end? What parts are lower income? Those sorts of things. I want you to look at just the basic demographics. Are those activities and the hobbies even available in your area? If you were thinking about like a CrossFit based business where you wanted to appeal to those athletes, then you would need to make sure there's maybe a CrossFit gym nearby would probably help. If you're wanting to offer some super high-end spa treatments and your target market is, housewives with money to blow or whatever, then you got to make sure you've actually got enough of those people to support your business. Then I want you to look at commercial property. And this is just, some ideas. This is not something like, hey, I have to move into this building, I have to put an offer on it. No, we're not there yet. This is just the idea phase. This is just the dreaming phase. So get some realty books, look online, find some commercial property that you like, that would fit your business, okay? Think about the square footage, think about the layout, the parking, where is it located, things like that. Then, cut out those little pictures, print them out, whatever, put them in that binder along with the price, okay? We need to put a price tag on it. Then I want you to price all your equipment. So every little crazy thing that you put down in that dream section, I want you to put a price on it. Okay? The table, the expensive oil, the sauna, whatever it is that you wanted in your facility, whatever services you wanted to offer, put a price tag on it. Then I want you to price your commercial utilities. This is going to be the part where you look at electric and gas and water and whatever other little stuff that you need that you're going to have to run your business. You need to look at the pricing of that average monthly cost for the square footage that you're looking at from the facility that you already checked out. Now, how much you're going to be spending per month and per year. And this is the part where people kind of freak out a little bit. And that's okay. Not doing this to scare you. The whole point of this is to look at your dream, figure out your dream, and then tailor that dream so it's still something you absolutely love to do, but it's also feasible for you, the market, and your financial situation. Okay? That's the whole point of this, is get something that you love and is feasible. Okay? Because we don't want just one or the other. You've got to have both. You got to be able to do something you love, or you're going to burn out. If you're working on people you don't particularly like, if you're more clinically minded and you opened up a spa just because that's what the area needed, you're going to be miserable. Okay? And if you open up, just what's, just what you absolutely love, and you open up this super high-end spa, but there's nobody to support it, then you're going to crash and burn. So either way, it's not good. You need a good balance, okay? So, for instance, think about like if you want to open up an oncology practice. Okay, if you open up an oncology practice in a small town where the closest oncology center is 100 miles away, you might have a little problem there. So you might have to rethink the business. Is this something that, you're going to have to rethink the entire concept? Again, if it's something you love, don't rethink the concept. Maybe you move. Maybe you go closer to an area where there is a cancer center where you can put a massage practice nearby that is oncology based, and you can market to that place over and over and over again, and you've got a steady stream of clientele that would be coming in. Maybe you move, maybe the business moves, maybe you have to rethink the whole concept. Whatever it is, it's going to get you both what you love and what's feasible, okay? And find the balance between those two. So, now that you've got a look at what your dream is and the reality, then you can look, at the feasibility of it all. So tailor that dream. Again, you want that balance between the two. So tailor your dream down a little bit if you have to. Maybe realize it's, I still want that dream, so I don't want to tailor it down. I don't want to trim anything off. So now I'm going to have to save even more. I'm going to have to move. I'm going to have to make some sort of changes to my life to be able to have the business that I really want. So now that we've got that in place, you can actually start planning your business. In that same binder, I want you to make a new section called the plan. And this is where you write out all the details, okay, that you've come up with in that balance of dream versus reality. So what is the final setup going to be? How are you going to have renters, employees? Are you going to be just independent? Is this going to be a spa or a clinic, or is this going to be a mobile business? What kind of decor do you want? Are you going to rent or buy? What kind of marketing do you need to get into? Any contract laborers you may need, like an accountant, a receptionist, a lawyer, a janitor, whatever else. So write down all of this stuff in as much detail as possible. And I mean get detailed, okay? Don't skip here, because the whole point of this plan is to get as detailed as possible so you are as prepared as possible. Once that is in place, then we can work toward a financial plan. And that financial plan, or we're just going to kind of map out finances a little bit, okay? Ideally, you want to have 6 months, up to 1 to 2 years, preferably, of savings in the bank, just sitting there, okay? And the whole point of that is to sustain you if you don't pull in a single cent from your business in that first year or two, that you're still safe. You can still pay your rent, you can still pay your mortgage, you can still pay, you can put food on the table, you can pay your electric, whatever. Your bills are covered, okay? And that's personally and professionally. You'll have to pay your personal bills and your professional bills, so keep both of those 1 to 2 years in the bank, preferably. And so, think about how much money can you put back per week or per month that is going to get you to that point when you want to open your business. Or you're going to have to put off your business in order to save the appropriate amount. Now, some people are going to think, oh, this is just crazy talk. I'm going to open my business in 6 months, and you're just insane, and I'm not going to listen to you. And that's perfectly fine. Some people make it. A lot of those people are living in poverty for the first few years of their business while they're trying to make it. And if you're okay with that, then okay. But if you're not, then I suggest putting the plan off, or putting the business off, and planning and saving as much as possible. Because that attitude of, I'm just going to do it and wing it and we'll see how it goes, that's the downfall of businesses every single day. So planning, saving, taking your time is much better strategy to actually get where you want to go. And you may have a plan that, on top of those savings, you put $100 a month toward your business, in a sense of you actually get to go ahead and buy stuff. And this is something I really recommend to people. Anytime I've had people that I've mentored through my career, this is something I've always suggested. If you want to open a business, go ahead and start buying some stuff. Okay, and it sounds silly. It's like, oh, well, I need to save and save and save and save. And yes, you do. Absolutely. I'm not saying don't. But you also need to give yourself a little allowance, whether that's $20 a month or $100 a month or whatever you've got, that on top of that savings, you can go ahead and start buying a couple things. So maybe it's just you're buying some little stuff, some candles, a little fountain, things like that for your room. Maybe you go ahead and start, every 4 or 5 months you buy something big. You buy that table that you've always wanted, or you buy the sauna or whatever, okay? Try to go ahead and start gathering those things. Number one, it's going to go ahead and take care of it so you don't get the sticker shock of that sudden startup cost. But it's also going to help you keep it in the forefront of your mind that this is the goal, this is the dream, this is where we're going, and I'm actually getting there. I'm taking steps to get there. Because when you spend years and years just putting money in the bank and you don't see any results from it yet, it's hard. It's really hard to keep doing that sometimes when you're not seeing any changes, you're not seeing a result, you don't feel any closer to your business. Even though you are, you don't feel like you're getting closer to the day that you can actually open the doors. So it's important to go ahead and splurge a little here and there and buy something for your business so that you feel like you're actually getting there, that you are taking the steps to start to get to your business. So don't be afraid to do that. Even if it's just a $10 candle from Walmart every once in a while, if it's something that's going to make you realize this is happening, I'm actually working toward that goal and I'm getting there, then it's worth it, okay? So that's my whole take on business planning, or at least the basics of it. Again, we can get very, very detailed, but that's the basics to me for right now. So next I want to talk about branding, and specifically awesome branding, because that's very important. Branding was a way for, when you think of branding, you think of this scar on a cow, because that's what ranchers did. That was how they identified their cattle. Now, business has the business industry has taken that term, and that's what we refer to as basically how we identify a business, is its brand. Now, when you think of a brand, you might think of a logo, a color scheme, that may be about it. But really, it's so much more than that. It is the true identity of your business. It is who you are and who your business is, okay? Now, you may brand your business or you may brand yourself. Totally different things, okay? And we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. We'll go in a little bit more detail, but I think making that distinction early on is very, very important. If you're independent, if you have no plans of bringing on employees or other contractors or whatever, it's important that you brand yourself instead of an establishment, okay? If you ever plan on bringing on other people, if you ever even think that in the back of your mind of, I might want to open that facility so that I can take a step back one day and just kind of manage a little bit more and do massage here and there as I want, then you would need to brand a business and the establishment itself. Those are two very different things, okay? So think about, yes, your logo, your color scheme, but also think about, I think something that's overlooked a lot is the copy. And copy is basically the written work. So when you read anything on a website, if you look at marketing materials, how something's laid out in a sales ad, that is all copy. Basically, it's written work. Do you keep things uber professional in your copy, or do you keep things very, very casual, like you're talking to a friend? Or is it somewhere in between? What you need to remember, though, is that branding isn't just about the copy. It isn't just about the logo or the colors. It is the full experience, okay? The entire experience with your business needs to be consistent from start to finish, okay? Every client needs to have the same feeling from the first time they hear about your business until they receive your services and then leave your business. It needs to have the same feeling, the same atmosphere, give the same impression throughout every single step of that process. So, for example, let's look at every step. If you look at your website or your marketing materials, if you're giving some semblance of like a 5-star high-end luxurious spa atmosphere, if you give that feeling on your website or your marketing materials, you have to carry that through every step of the process. You can't be like, oh, we're a little low end here and a little high end here. No, it needs to be consistent. So if that's the first impression they have, is that on your website they see this luxurious kind of spa atmosphere, they're going to take that impression and they're going to form expectations for every interaction with you after that. So, when they call to set up their appointment, please answer the phone professionally. It better be something like, thank you for calling Amazing 5 Spa Experience. This is Savannah. Can I help you? Whatever. Okay? It needs to be professional. Don't just pick up the phone and say hello. Okay? That's rather unprofessional. If you don't answer and they get a voicemail, your voicemail needs to be very professional. If you don't feel like you have a professional enough voice to do that, or you get nervous or shaky or whatever, you can always contract this out. You can look online and find voiceover actors all over the place for cheap. Okay? And get them to do a professional voicemail message for you. Also, if your business, think about how easy is it to find from the road. If it's kind of in an obscure location, it may be nice to go ahead and send directions and some special instructions, whatever they need, beforehand. It shows you care. It shows that you understand you're not quite, on the main street or something, so that they're a little bit more prepared. Okay? That in and of itself goes above and beyond. Does the outside appearance of your building and does your lobby give that same 5-star kind of quality atmosphere? Every room in your facility needs to match that atmosphere, every single room. You may have some special spa accommodations. You may do like infused water or snacks in the waiting area. You may do fluffy robes. You may have a relaxation area where they can just hang out and relax a little bit before and after their treatments. Also think about your restrooms, and I know it doesn't seem all that important, but restrooms are actually a good insight into how somebody cares for their business behind the scenes. I can't count the number of high-end businesses that I've been in and their bathrooms are just, they're not kept clean, and maybe just they're bland and they just look too basic. But just think about your bathroom. I know it seems silly, but just do it. So maybe have like single-use hand towels, like really nice plush hand towels, and a nice hamper to put them in. Have a nice soap dispenser, not something commercial on the wall, or a dial bottle on the counter. Doesn't look as luxurious, okay? Have a nice atmosphere. And please, for the love of all that is holy, buy good toilet paper. I know it seems silly, but if you skimp on something as basic as toilet paper, it kind of makes you question what else you're skimping on, okay? Are you really using the high-end oil on their massage, or if you're going to skimp on the toilet paper? Just saying. Anywho, how do you greet them, okay? What's your intake process? All of this stuff needs to get the same, the same feel, the same atmosphere that you've already given. Give them some, your special kind of attention if you want that 5-star atmosphere. And you kind of need to do that to all your clients anyway, regardless of your atmosphere. But still, try to make that as luxurious as possible. Even your intake process needs to be spa-like, so carry that through. Think about the ambiance in the room. Okay, is the lighting appropriate? Do you have candles and a fountain going? Do you have, do things look really nice? Please don't have a CD that skips all the time or that loops every 20 minutes. That will drive anyone crazy. I've seen that on more reviews than probably anything else complaining about a spa. Okay. Also, is it too hot or too cold? Think about the temperature of your room. Have extra blankets and pillows just in case they need them. How's your table set up? Think about, no oil stained sheets. I know you think, oh, the lights are dim, they can't tell. They can, okay? A lot of people flick up the lights whenever they're getting dressed, they're fixing their hair before they walk out, whatever. If I see oil stained sheets, it feels gross, okay? Wash your sheets appropriately and they won't stain. Have a table topper and a warmer. Makes it feel nice, okay? I hate to say it, even the nicer massage tables, they're just not that comfortable to lay on all by themselves, okay? It's nice to have the extra padding of a mattress or a table topper or anything like that. Make sure your table's made nice and neat, that it's clean, it looks fresh, like these are fresh sheets because they should be. I know that seems really obvious, but you would be surprised. Now everything that we've mentioned so far is all before you ever actually lay your hands on it. It's all before you ever massage that person. So you still think giving a great massage is all you need to do? No, it's not. There's so much more to your business than giving a great massage. But giving a great massage is, of course, vital. You have to carry that same kind of feeling through your massage. So think about, the way you talk to them when they're in their session. Think about the way you drape. Any special treatments you may want to add on. Do you do like a lavender eye pillow or hot towels or anything like that? Maybe you add some special scrub to their feet or just some little special services for them. Also, once their session is actually done, how do they check out and rebook? How's that whole process for them? Do you maybe give them some more infused water? Do you let them sit in the relaxation room? Do you, give them time to kind of come to out of the massage drunk phase? What do you do for that whole process? If they don't rebook, even if they do, but especially if they don't rebook, I always recommend doing like a thank you email the next day that is hopefully going to remind them how great they feel, so maybe they'll go ahead and rebook. Okay, they'll go ahead and call and say, oh yeah, let me go ahead and book another session while I've got my calendar with me. Okay, because when people are checking their email, they usually have a calendar with them. Okay, so it's not an excuse. So it seems like a lot. I know that seems like, oh my God, I think every step. But that's what makes a brand. You have to think of every single step along the way. So please don't forget that. Think of every single step. So I want to show you a couple companies and their branding efforts. And I want to show you what works, okay? Some of these are massage related, some not. Well, one's not. The first one, I suppose, definitely not. It is actually very far from the massage industry, but we can take a lot of its principles and we can tweak them and make them our own. So, you may have heard of this company called Poo-Pourri. And yes, if you have, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, this is basically a natural bathroom odor solution, okay? If you haven't checked out their website, please do so. It is fantastic. The company itself, they don't take themselves too seriously. They understand what they're selling, that it's kind of silly, that it's a little quirky, but they deliver it in such a way that they make it humorous. I mean, their website is fantastic from a sales perspective, but also just in the humor department, it is hilarious. So some people may be very offended by how they deliver this message. Other people find it hilarious, and that's their whole point, is to find their ideal customer and get rid of the ones they don't want. Okay, and that's kind of the primary thing I want you to look at with their company, is they've done a fantastic job of isolating their ideal client and then getting rid of the ones that they don't want, the ones that aren't going to spend the money with them, so they just go ahead and say bye. So they target that very specific market. And that's what we can do in the massage industry. We can take that same principle and apply it to our profession. It's important that you not only find your ideal client, but you brand specifically for them. Think of that one person and how you reach out to them, okay? So if, for instance, you like more of the clinical atmosphere, okay, and you love clinical modalities, that's what you do, that's your heart and passion with this industry, then that's what you need to focus on. So in your website, in your marketing materials, in any ads you ever do, your social media campaigns, anything you ever do for your business, the atmosphere, when they walk into your building, how does it feel? How does it appeal to them? It all needs to present that clinical atmosphere, okay? If it doesn't, if your website looks like a spa, but then they walk in and it's more clinically based, there's a little mixed message there, okay? So you're not going to be getting your ideal client. So tailor it to who you want more specifically. Don't worry about excluding people. You need to exclude people. Let's face it, there are certain people you don't like working on, okay? We all have them. They either drain you, it's just not the modality you particularly like. Whatever it is, there are certain people we don't want to massage, okay? For whatever reason. Send them to another therapist. They'll be happy to find another one. There are plenty of therapists out there who have different techniques, different modalities, different ideas about the entire thing. So don't be afraid to isolate your target market and appeal to only them. The biggest mistake I see therapists make oftentimes is that they will find they have this idea that they need to appeal to everybody, that they need to market to everyone out there because that's who they want. They want everybody. They don't care. They do general massage. They want everybody. That's not how this works. You need to find your ideal client and market to them. If you're massaging people all day, every day, that you don't absolutely love to massage, that don't kind of fulfill that passion for the industry, then you're going to burn out very quickly. So it's always best to find that niche and stick with it. So let's look at Poo-Pourri's entire branding package. Check out their logo. It is fantastic. It's simple, it's effective, definitely feminine, a little fancy, and yet it's for freaking Poo-Pourri, okay? If you can't notice, or if you didn't notice, the scroll is actually made out of toilet paper. Fantastic, okay? Seriously, it's awesome. And I'm not saying you need to do this, but I'm just using this as an example of their logo being great. It's simplistic and yet it's fantastic. If you look over their entire website, it's black and white, little pops of blue here and there. It's simple and it's effective. The biggest thing that I want you to look at though is their copy. It is absolutely fantastic, okay? So instead of an About Us section, they call it the Story of Poo. And here's what it says, and this is written by the owner of the company. I expect a lot out of the products I choose to bring into my home. Fed up with the lack of natural bathroom odor solutions, I decided to get off my hiney and do something about it. Combining my knowledge of essential oils and entrepreneurial passion, I formulated Poo-Pourri as the first natural, truly effective solution to a universal problem. Poop happens, and it stinks. Poo-Pourri transforms your bathroom experience and those who come in after you by stopping bathroom odor before it begins. Seriously. And let's be honest, everybody does it. It's only natural. All around us, people are increasingly breaking free from conformity and convention, yet we still allow silly taboos like bathroom odor to hold us back. Poo-Pourri changes that. Poo-Pourri shows us how one effortless shift in your routine and mindset can create a positive transformation. Poopery liberates you from toxic thoughts and ingredients and inspires you to confidently own your throne. Besides, you've got more important crap to worry about. It's amazing what a little fresh thinking and a lot of hard work can do. It's time to take a shift. I love this. It's fantastic. Okay, I'm not saying do this, okay, by any stretch of the imagination, but I want you to see how they tell their story. It's very casual, it's quirky, it's what they do. They understand what their company's about, and that people are going to kind of laugh at it, okay? Now check out the frequently asked question page, because I think this is great. So, the first, I used Poopery for the first time. My poop in life has forever been changed. I went to shake hands with the smarty pants who invented it, after I watched them, of course. Who on earth thought of this stuff? And the answer, as legend has it, Poopery was created by a magical fairy named Stinkerbell in an enchanted world far, far away. As truth has it, Poopery was invented by a stink-hating gal named Susie Batiz in a smelly bathroom near Dallas, Texas. Succinct, but quirky, a little funny. There you go. Second one I want you to look at, last one. The only smell worse than human poo is cat poo. Can I use Poopery in my cat's litter box? The answer, as animal owners ourselves, we feel you. The stinky litter box struggle is very real. However, due to citrus sensitivities in cats, our products are citrus natural essential oils based, we encourage that you do not spray Poopery into your cat's litter box. It actually may deter them from using it. No bueno. Are they seriously not great? They're fantastic. Okay? This is just the stuff on their website. They carry this same kind of quirkiness through their delivery, their product itself, their follow-up. They get their company, okay? They get branding and they take it to a whole new level. They show that they're this quirky, funny, silly company that can laugh at themselves and it doesn't take themselves too seriously, but that believes wholeheartedly in their product, okay? So I'm not saying use this type of language. I'm not saying get this casual. I use this as a funny little example to show you effective branding because it is effective. Okay? This type of branding is just ideal. Every step, every word, everything that you put into it has to be manufactured so that you can convince your client or your potential client that they're going to spend their hard-earned money on you. Now, I want you to take a look at a company that massage therapists tend to have kind of strong opinions about. And honestly, I don't care. Positive or negative, I don't care what you think about the company. All I want you to look at is the branding of this company from a client's perspective. Not from a massage therapist perspective, but from a client's. Because that's the whole point of doing your branding. Okay? What are your clients going to think about this? So, Massage Envy has kind of went through a rebranding phase in the last few years. They've gotten a lot of bad press for a number of reasons. And again, regardless of what you think about the company, I want you to look at their branding. So take a look at this commercial.
Whatever the reason, join us at Massage Envy, and we'll help you manage the side effects of this wonderful thing we call living.
So this is their Because Everything campaign. And whether you like Massage Envy or not, I don't care. You've got to agree that this type of commercial is great for our profession as a whole, because let's face it, how many massage therapists out there can afford to do a really nice commercial on national television? Nobody. Okay? So, leave it to the massage chains to help us out. Now, they used to promote ads that were just about promoting how cheap they were. Okay, they were like the Costco of massage. You can get it cheaper here, yay! Okay, they switched gears, which was actually smart on their part. Number one, they were undercutting a lot of us, but number two, they realized that shouldn't be their whole goal, is that they're the cheap massage, because then they came off as the cheap massage and people were complaining and it was just an issue. So instead of doing this, kind of we're the cheapest campaign, they decided to focus on the benefits of massage, but they do it in a way that makes it quite different. Instead of like a lot of massage therapists who on our marketing materials or website, whatever, we decide to put that massage decreases cortisol levels and increases serotonin levels and blah, blah, blah. That sounds great and people go, oh, that's cool, but nobody really cares, okay? That's not going to convince somebody to come in and get a massage. It's just not. Instead, what they did is say, hey, you laid in a funky position for your 12-hour Netflix binge. How about you come in and get a massage because you feel like crap? Okay? Or you decided to go, full throttle into your new workout routine to get ready for summer, and now you're hurt. Come get a massage. Okay? That's the way you appeal to a client. You try to fix their problem. Okay? You show them they have an issue, and then you show them you have the solution to fix it. You don't just show, hey, we decrease cortisol levels. Whoop-de-doo, okay? And in fact, research, But anyway, that's how you appeal to your clients. Lastly, I want you to look at an independent massage therapist, actually out of Nova Scotia. Her name is Lori DiGiulio at loridiggiulio.com. And her website, it's not the flashiest, it's not the fanciest out there, but it is way more effective than most of the flashy, fancy websites there are because it is genuine. It is extremely effective because it is genuinely her. And when I talked to Lori about doing this, she said that basically she had a nice successful business. Her fiance's in the military. They had to move. It's part of the life of being in the military. So she had to close down her practice. And when she moved, since that's always a possibility being in the military, she has to make sure that she had branded herself and not an establishment. Okay? So her entire presence is all about her. It's not her building, it's not her business per se. She branded herself, which is genius. The first thing you see when you open up her website is a body of muscles that looks like it's about to jump off the page. What's great about this is it actually separates out her ideal clients from the crowd, because the first thing you think of is this is a clinical setting. This is not some high-end spa. This is not a low-end spa. This is not a spa at all. This is massage therapy, okay? This is clinical massage therapy. So it immediately separates out those ideal clients, and they're going to stay on her page and look through it. Her picture, just a little farther down from that, tells you that she's an athlete. She's holding a kettlebell, okay? If she's an athlete, she's going to appeal to other athletes and offer something that some other therapists may not, okay? This is fantastic branding. This is all just from a glance before you ever read a word on her website. Then there's the copy, and I love this. She says, I have an insatiable appetite for knowledge and always question the status quo. Drop the dogma. I think that we have way more power to change our bodies and minds in positive ways than we ever give ourselves credit for, and my work endeavors to help people realize this innate power. My practice is currently in Bedford, Nova Scotia, Canada, but I love to travel. You will not come in to see me and have a typical massage. Not that there's anything wrong with that, it's just not what I most love to do. If you are ready to make some big changes, I am here to help you achieve them. It will take work for both of us, but the results will be nothing short of amazing. That being said, if you really just want a chill out and relax kind of treatment, who am I to tell you what your body needs? If you're a therapist and you're feeling stuck, I'm also here to help you. This is fantastic. She gives this authenticity to who she is, and she clearly tells you what she does, okay? Not only what she does well, and what she loves to do. And when you come out and say, this is what I love to do. If you want the other stuff, go for it. But this is what I do because it's what I love. That in and of itself separates you and shows that you're more genuine about what you're doing. So she goes on to tell a little bit more about herself and some interests that she has, which is always nice. It always makes it personable. She also has a blog section and a video section. And here she gives insights both for clients and for other therapists. So she does stretches, she does exercises, she does just little informational things here and there. So it's fantastic. This is way better than some generic list of services with prices, okay? She has videos. I don't care if you have fancy video equipment and lighting and all of that stuff. Get your cell phone, take a few videos, put them up on your website. Number one, people are much more likely to go to somebody that they feel a connection with. Okay, having videos makes that connection. A picture on a screen is nice, but nobody ever looks like their picture. Nobody ever, the personality doesn't come across in that. But you can have your personality come across in a short video, even if it's just a quick little something like, hey guys, I had a client today who was having neck pain and I want to show you a few stretches that I showed her that may help you. Something as simple as that. You spend 5 minutes showing people stretches on a video on your website, you're going to get more clients that way. Okay? But it brands you. Okay? And if you're branding your business, then you're going to need to go about it just a little bit differently and try to remind people who you are, who you're with, what company you work with, and what they can expect from your facility. I think Lori said it best when I emailed her about, requesting to see if I could spotlight her in this video, and she agreed, and then she gave me, a little description about what she does in her business, and I think she said it best here. The tone of vocabulary I use in my posts and communications is me. I didn't want it to be salesy or fake. I really just wanted people to hear my voice. The result was that sometimes people hear the occasional curse word, and then I use technical terms, but always explain them, instead of lay terms, because I think people are smarter than the medical profession gives them credit for, and I want to help educate people about their bodies and health. Some people love it, some people hate it. I don't care either way. I care that my message is genuine. This is perfect. This is what branding is all about. It's genuine, it's authentic, it is absolutely marvelous. So that's what it is. If you're going to brand yourself, brand your personality, bring it out in your branding. If you're going to brand your business, come up with a personality for your business and brand that. That's what makes a business successful. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got a lot of great ideas. Whatever ideas you did get, please share them in the comments below. I would love to hear what you come up with, whether that's some website changes or a new branding strategy, or whether you decided to go buy a binder and write out your whole business plan. Whatever it is, let me know in the comments. I would love to see and hear it. So if you liked this video, be sure and share it with your friends and colleagues, and like us on Facebook. If you want to get these kinds of videos straight to your inbox, be sure and sign up for our email list on our website or on our Facebook page. And I will see you next time with My Massage World.